Hi everyone. I had an awesome question in my somatics class today that I thought was really helpful about as you're moving through an exercise. This could be of any kind. It could be a somatic exercise, it could be self-lymph massage, it could be just doing squats, running, whatever. Like how how do we if we're moving through tissue and or doing an exercise and we feel more activated at different points along it, what does that mean? And it was just this realization that sometimes I think I need to say more about like what I experience and it's okay. In somatics, we often talk about how we get to acknowledge that there are sensations in our body. So, and we get to put them in their place. We can make them so big. We can be led by the sensations in our body, by the five senses. Like if we can't see or hear or smell, it's not good, right? It is how we take in our surroundings, but those things shouldn't rule us and make all our decisions for us. So, like, I guess I'm thinking if I feel hungry, I could feel hungry for cake and want to have cake all day, every day. That's not going to rule me. So I get to acknowledge and I can hear something scary, but it is my decision on what it is and how to act. Like I get to I get to take in my surroundings with my five senses, but then I get to interpret it, right? And so as my body is giving sensations, when I fear those sensations and make them really big, that's my interpretation. And so sometimes when we're going through things, we just even do things that are maybe what would be considered not this like wonderful calming thing. Like it's a little one of the simplest ones is just like keeping both your eyes open but covering one eye and noticing if the depth of your breath changes or covering both eyes and just kind of noticing and then noticing when you remove it. And sometimes it can feel like there's a little tension in your chest and then you release it. Oh, that's better. So you would say that's not just like a calming thing, but it's a noticing thing. And so anyway, bringing this to the question from today, we were doing a fascial layer, just moving through a fascial layer along our chest. The fascial layer is really connected into the nervous system. We're not trying to pound it out, stretch it out. We're just entering into it and allowing communication. So we can allow the movement and just let the body know it's okay to have tension and that because tension is one of the most common things that gets triggered in our mind as something negative. But and it can be, right? It can be like if I just have tension in my chest and I just notice my body, like, whoa, my chest is really tense. I'm not calling that a positive, but how about it's just a neutral? It's just information. So instead of like, oh, why, I could go, hey, it is. Hey, I'm noticing that. Can I give it permission to relax? Because if I'm using my body, if I just bend my arm, I'm going to have tension in my bicep muscle. That's normal. And so tension is a normal thing, but our brain starts fearing it because of lots of different reasons and lots of facts that have built up over time and we get to reframe it. And so as we're bringing our hand through the fascial tissue along our chest really slowly and just as deep as feels available, the question was, what if it's, what if there's like different levels of activation as I go through here? And I'm like, well, of course there would be. And I never thought how that might be interpreted. Well, maybe I have at times, but there's different layers of fascia, there's different layers of muscle. And as you're going through, I often say you may hit a point where your fingers just stop. That doesn't mean there's something wrong there. There's just different layers of tissue. It may mean there's some more tension there, and that's actually okay. You're just noticing it and giving your body time to relax. But the activation of the nervous system, that there can be some points that might actually just feel tender, like a more tender muscle, and that's okay. You can decrease the tension if you want, but it can be just okay. You can just start describing it and know that you're safe because we're not doing anything extreme. And then, but there can also just be, as you're doing this, just an awareness of maybe an increase in like a fight or flight response or something. And I'm not saying we just plow through and hurt. No, we're being really kind and gentle and going, hey, I'm noticing that. Maybe I can slow down. Maybe I can sigh and let my body know I'm okay. Maybe I could look around a little bit, let my body know I'm okay. I can just tell my body I'm okay, relax. We're not doing anything extreme. But so as I was doing it, I thought it's good to tell people that though, that it doesn't need to mean anything. And the thing is, since we repeat the same class throughout the week, and at least currently we have 4 classes a week, and I'm guiding it through and I try and explain things and why and what and everything. I will I just find it so interesting that maybe it seems like a totally normal week. My body felt the same as far as I could tell, but when I started the week, and this was this week, so it's Wednesday, so this is the third one, um, the left side felt like there was just a lot more, well, I guess tension, I'd say, but and when I worked through it, there was just like this awareness of tension through this shoulder and I have a little more just that, yeah, like nervous system activation as I went along this side. Fine. I just noticed it. It was like, wow, there's a lot going on here as I do this. And then I do the right side and just felt more neutral. And then today, when I did it, the left side felt totally neutral. The right side felt more activated. In fact, as she was asking, I realized, well, I'll just describe this. I felt this. I do this one. Oh, I especially used to do this one like a lot. I switch on what ones I use a lot. So I used to do this one a lot for a long, I mean, for a number of years. And I don't remember that exact thing ever happening. Maybe it has. I don't know. But it's certainly not common that as I was, I don't know, in this first half or so across my chest, just moving my fingers deep and slow, I just felt this pressure on the back of my skull, but really inside the back of my skull, I just felt this pressure. And I could go into like, okay, what fascial layer are you on and what's going on? I don't need to though. I just get to notice it. I'm safe. I'm not doing anything extreme. I guess like was it unbelievably pleasant? No, but it's okay. I feel like in an old state, I would have called it negative. But in the way it was like, wow, I mean, I guess, do I want it to go on forever? No, but it's okay. There's just something going on. And then I got to a certain point and it just sort of changed, lifted, I guess you could say. But yeah, the nervous system is just communicating all sorts of different things. And some of the value of being so present in our body in a non-judgmental way, right? Not in fear. We're not body scanning and fear checking and like, oh my gosh, that causes pain here. Okay, I have to fix that. I need to, change the tension here so this doesn't happen because there's this fascial connection and overthinking it. I can just notice it and it's okay. And so it's good to notice that. And sometimes like this week, it was yesterday. We were moving the skin of our chest up or different directions. When I moved it up and just held it, I was not noticing that there was tension in my neck. And I just felt this massive release. So it wasn't a huge amount of tension, or I probably would have noticed it. But it was just like, oh, that felt really good. That's cool. But so often it's just kind of information, like move it one way. And I mean, maybe it's even, uncomfortable again, like there's a tension around my shoulder, but I don't have to describe it as such, as uncomfortable. It's just information. My nervous system's going all over the place. We're building resiliency. And so we don't have to make a story for everything. We get to be kind. We get to realize, okay, if the nervous system is just going into fight or flight and it's just going up, 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 you need to stop, pause, come back to center. Can you go more slowly, more gentle, through less range? But actually do, if you can, you choose, but I would recommend trying to do the exact same thing again, just more gentle, because you're telling your body not, oh, that caused that, so now I'm going to fear it and avoid it. You're just saying, hey, we weren't doing anything crazy. So we're just going to gently repeat it, maybe slower, more gentle, whatever, through less range and show the body, see, it is okay to do this thing. Like get right back on the horse, right? That just came to mind. So So anyway, I'm hoping this is helpful to go, there can be all sorts of sensations and different levels of activation of the nervous system as pretend you're washing your hands, as you move your eyes. And it doesn't have to be like, oh, okay, so this part of my hand is a problem and I need to fix it. No, but you can notice, like I was thinking of the lips. When we pretend we're washing the face, the lips have more proprioceptive cells in them. So they are going to be more activating to the nervous system. That's normal. That may be true in different parts that we're doing it elsewhere, but it may not be. It may be due to so many different things, but we don't have to determine it. We just get to gently observe it. And then we get to learn how to be so present in our body non-judgmentally. So we get to body scan. Body scanning isn't bad if we're doing it not in fear, if we're just aware. I sit down and I notice that, huh, I'm tensing my quads. Why is that? Like, could I maybe shift my posture or something, right? But maybe I just get to tell my quads, you don't need to be tight right now, but that happens sometimes. And I just get to notice, like, you don't need to help right now. So you can relax. And I let them know. And because I've practiced this, it responds. And so different activations, different things going on, the more we're just noticing it and aware, the more we can be present in our body in a non-judgmental way and direct it. So anyway, I hope that is helpful. I thought it was fun today to go over in our session. And if you ever want to join us, it's janetmassey.com. We have the Align membership, which has unlimited and tons of streaming of the live classes, but then also other exercises, classes, workshops, all sorts of stuff, and then drop-in classes too. And it's fantastic, somatics and self-lymph. And so anyway, hope that's helpful. Have a wonderful day.